Kevin Garnett finally just won the biggest beef of his entire career, and he only has two men to thank for pulling it off. See, even though KG hasn't played for the Minnesota Timberwolves in a decade, he still leads the franchise in career points, rebounds, assists, and almost every other statistical category. However, even though he's regarded as the best player in franchise history, you won't find his jersey hanging up in the rafters in the Target Center. But why? Well, to answer that, we have to go back to 1995, when Garnett became the youngest player in NBA history when he was drafted 5th overall directly out of high school by the Minnesota Timberwolves. Now, it's important to note that since joining the NBA as a franchise in 1989, the Timberwolves had never won more than 29 games. Still, behind a rookie head coach named Flip Saunders and a 19-year-old Kevin Garnett, Minnesota finally had a promising future ahead of them. However, even after winning MVP and leading the team to the Western Conference Finals, Garnett was traded to the Celtics in 2007 after growing frustrated with the Timberwolves ownership. But this isn't even what caused the beef, because it wasn't until 2015 when KG returned to the Timberwolves to lead a young core of players which included Ricky Rubio, Andrew Wiggins, and Karl Anthony Towns that he really started to butt heads with ownership. See, according to a 2020 interview with The Athletic, Garnett had only returned to the Timberwolves to play for his old coach Flip Saunders after coming to an understanding with owner Glenn Taylor that he would be able to stand with the team after he was done playing, to help run basketball operations, or potentially even join the ownership group. However, in Garnett's first year back with the team, Saunders was diagnosed with cancer, which eventually took his life the following year in 2016, the same year KG retired from the NBA. But instead of keeping his promise to Garnett, owner Glenn Taylor decided to hire Tom Thibodeau as head coach and president of basketball operations, which Garnett says he still hasn't forgiven him for. In the same interview, Garnett even said that as recently as 5 years ago, he wasn't entertaining the idea of having his jersey retired in Minnesota, even though he's undoubtedly the franchise's best player. However, now, with Glenn Taylor finally out of the picture after Alex Rodriguez and Mark Lore bought the team, it seems likely that KG will get his moment in Minnesota, and maybe even the job he's always wanted.